Hey guys, welcome to a more cute, comfy, cozy style video. Today is going to be more of a video essay, and I'm gonna grab my headphones for this actually. So, I decided for us to have more cool lighting for this video because I feel like it adds a different ambiance to it, and I feel like it's a lot of fun. I love the cool new lighting. But today, I wanted to talk about being basic. And sort of the whole idea around being basic. Again, I have more notes on my laptop like the previous couple of videos, but chill. But it's okay to be basic. That's sort of what this video is. It's okay to be basic. And I feel like it's definitely, this video is going to be a lot of me sort of rambling about what I think, but I think that just sort of adds an authenticity factor to it. Yeah, so I am going to just pull up my doc and we're going to start chit-chatting. For editing, Leo, I'm so sorry if this video is extremely long, but I've really been wanting to make this video for a little bit now because of all these TikToks that I see. And I'm gonna insert the TikToks right after this, but it's sort of that trend where it's like realizing that I'm slowly turning into a basic white girl. I'm pretty sure a lot of us on social media have already seen this, but I feel like it's just a bit harmful, I guess, or like realizing that I'm slowly becoming basic. I just really hate those types of videos. And now, like, you may be like, for those of you who aren't on TikTok or who aren't on social media, what is the basic white girl? That, like, what is a basic girl? And to sort of define it, I went onto Urban Dictionary to define what the basic white girl is. And this is what Urban Dictionary says a basic white girl is. So, a basic white girl is a girl who thinks she's so different from others but conforms to all of the popular trends. That's one of them. I have a couple of different definitions. Another one is a girl who is normal and does whatever all other white girls do. Loves Starbucks, Adidas, Pink, Uggs, Birkenstocks, and has 50 plus Snapchat streaks that they cannot lose or they will die, and they are boy crazy. However, I think that the basic white girl on TikTok is more often seen, and it can be characterized by just liking popular things like Drunk Elephant, The Ordinary, Sol de Janeiro, Lululemon, drinking Starbucks, etc., etc. And there's nothing wrong with being basic. However, the very common thing that I see on social media is just such a negative connotation with being basic, and it being like something super negative or something bad. Like, being basic is bad, it's negative. Like, you shouldn't be basic, you should always strive to be different. And I don't think that's like necessarily true. Like, a big reason that I wanted to make this video is because things like, for example, that are seen as basic for the basic white girl are things like Pink, Starbucks, Lululemon, Sol de Janeiro, Drunk Elephant, Rare Beauty, Fenty Beauty. Like, all these things are seen as basic. But I think when we think about it, why are these things seen as basic? What is basic about them? And it's that a very big thing about it is that a lot of people use these things, and that's what makes it basic. It makes it not different. But being basic isn't bad. If a lot of people are using something, it is probably because it's good. And like, there is nothing wrong with being basic, and that's what I want to take away from this video, because like some people would characterize me and my friends as basic. For example, some of my friends wear Lululemon. For example, I love Say Beauty, something considered extremely basic now. Drunk Elephant, seen as basic. I personally don't use Drunk Elephant just because it's expensive, but again, it's still seen as basic. What else? Glossier, basic. I love Glossier, and so what? Glossier is good, hence why I use it. Say is good, hence why I use it. These things are basic, but it's literally okay. And it's so frustrating that the term basic is seen as something so negative, or like you shouldn't be basic. Girl, who's telling you to live like this? Why are you hating on like basic girls? Girls, realistically, I like being basic. I like being basic. There's nothing wrong about it. I love my Say Beauty. I'm sorry. I love it because they're good products. They're good quality products. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And like, I don't want this video to seem like I feel like attacked for being called basic, because realistically, like, I don't care. It's just more of a thing where I'm very annoyed at other girls sort of talking negatively about being basic. And like, I think we all, to a certain level, are some level of basic, I think. That might be my opinion. The issue I have is the negative connotation with it, and just the negative connotation with, I guess, sort of anything that women do. And like, because you don't see this on like things about men. It's most of the time just targeted towards women, and it's so annoying. And it's a lot of the time women not supporting women. And like, I love my girls. I am a girl's girl till the day I die. You don't say anything about my girls. You don't say anything about women. Like, I do not care. I will always support women. If you're a basic girl, you're a basic girl. I love that for you. If you're different, you're different. I love that for you. If you don't conform to norms, don't conform to norms. I literally don't care, and I will support you for you. But it's always girls hitting on other girls for liking basic things, and that is so disgusting. That is so disgusting to me. Again, the reason I'm making this video is because I've seen so many videos on my For You page that have been like girls posting, realizing I'm slowly turning into a basic white girl. So many videos like this have been popping up on my For You page. And it's usually like girls who like have Stanleys. Again, seen as something basic. But do you realize people buy Stanleys because they're good? Y'all remember the Hydro Flask? People were buying Hydro Flasks because they're good. That's why people are buying them. These things are considered basic because they are popular, but things are popular for a reason. Things are popular for a reason. And again, I'm not like completely sticking to my script, but because like I'm just anger. But again, I do feel like the word basic has negative connotation to it. But the key thing to note is that being basic is okay, and there is very much a reason that things are considered basic. One of I think the most basic white girl things that I keep seeing on social media is Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez being considered basic. But why is Rare Beauty considered basic? That's because Rare Beauty products are good. Girls want the Rare Beauty blushes. Girls want the Rare Beauty highlighters. Why? Because they're good. They're new lip oils. Everyone was going to Sephora to like buy them out. Why do you think that is? Because it's Rare Beauty, and people are obviously going to think it's good. Because people are already like, oh my god, like Selena Gomez already makes good products. So of course I'm going to go out and buy her lip oil because it will most likely also be good. And that's great. Good products are good. There's nothing wrong with wanting a good product. And if a brand and something that is considered basic provides that good thing, why are you not going to spend your money on it? Your money, you do what you want. It's your life. Do what you will with that. And then I also wanted to go into a bit of the Urban Dictionary definitions, because there's so many more. If you literally just like search the basic white girl, you will see so many definitions. But I feel like so many of them are so negative. All of them are negative. Literally, I did not see a single positive thing about the basic girl, the basic white girl. And it's very much specifically like being a basic girl. Like there's such, let me go. Like, these just seem like the definitions on Urban Dictionary just seem to be mocking women and making fun of women. And like, do you guys hear how like that's might not be a good thing, maybe we shouldn't mock women for the things they do. And another thing to note is that these videos are typically targeted towards young girls. Do you know how harmful having a negative connotation with the word basic just because a girl wants to use rare beauty, and like this is going to influence 13 and 14-year-olds down the road. Like it's going to negatively impact their mental health, and this is wrong. You shouldn't be criticizing young girls for these things, and it's these videos are always targeted towards young girls. And this leads me sort of into the wider issue of the of making fun of the basic white girl and just the basic girl in general. This brings me to my thing of the patriarchy, feminism, and I found a very good scholarly article that sort of goes into things explaining, sort of, y'all will understand as I go more along, but something that I wrote that I really want to share with you guys is that women are constantly being made fun of for absolutely everything they do, especially young women. Especially, for example, I feel very like targeted in things when like you're making fun of Latinas or like stereotyping Latinas on social media. Like that's bad for me and my mental health because I don't want to be fetishized. And again, these things are predominantly seen on social media. And this issue is just not from men, it's even other girls making fun of other girls. And that is so disgusting. And I feel like this has to do with the issues of internalized misogyny. And I did find a very good journal article, which I'm going to be talking about now, which this is what I use my university account okay for. I in fact do use it to find scholarly articles because like in video essays I typically see articles being used, but they don't tend to be like scholarly or peer-reviewed articles. And if my university allows me access to this, I am obviously going to take advantage of it. But the article is called, I'm going to link it down below with a reference. It's called Internalized Misogyny as a Moderator of the Link Between Sexist Events and Women's Psychological Distress. It's very much a psychology-based type thing. And this article is by Dawn M. Sismaki, Arpana Gupta, Erica R. Carr, and Destin Stewart. I recommend you guys read this article if you are interested in anything that I'm about to talk about. So, I'm going to be quoting things and sort of directly making a correlation with things that I was talking about throughout this video. So, this is a direct quote from the article. Women's personal problems, both in the United States and abroad, are influenced by the socio-cultural and political conditions in which they live in and can be conceptualized as reactions to oppression. Because women, both in the United States and abroad, often live in patriarchal cultures, many women are exposed to various forms of sexism that come from a variety of places, including the media, religious institutions, political and legal systems, places of work, and familial and interpersonal relationships. Now you may be like, Leo, what does this have to do? But again, this is very much like a psychological type of journal. But the reason I want to bring this up, so making fun of young girls is something that is predominantly seen in the media. Making fun of women is something that is very much seen in the media. And this is sort of like what the women's personal problems is in like this situation. It's sort of like just being made fun of for being who you are, just being made fun of for the person that you are. And this has to very much do with the patriarchal systems that were put up thousands of years ago and still stand today, where women were not seen as equals. And to some degree, women are still not seen as equals in the modern day, and that is a problem. And making fun of women is something that's very, very normalized in the media, in many cultures around the world. Like, for example, I see it in Latino culture all the time. Women are expected to stay at home. We're expected to be mothers, and if we don't do that, we're made fun of. Why is that? And that's a very big, like, just cultural thing. And forms of sexism, I feel like the basic white girl, the basic girl, and being made fun of for that is inherently sexist. And some of you might disagree in my comments, and I don't care. You know what? I'm posting this because I feel like it needs to be talked about. But it is very, like, sexist behavior. And I feel like this might be a more internalized thing within women, where like sometimes like we will be on social media and we'll be like jealous. And again, internalized misogyny is such a prevalent thing. Even if we don't want it to be, we are influenced by it at times, and we unintentionally think about the male gaze. What will men think of us? And I'm like, for example, like maybe a young girl is like, oh, like, will a boy not like me because I'm basic? Girl, you should not be caring about what other boys think, because you should do things because you want them. And the patriarchy is a system that continues to hold us in a chokehold, and it will be our downfall. I hope I kind of explained that. I don't know if that made any sense, but like I have a very hard time explaining things at times. But the next point I wanted to quote from the journal is that sexist events have been conceptualized as gender-specific, negative life events that are unique to women, socially based. E.g., they stem from relatively stable underlying patriarchal social structures, institutions, and processes beyond the individual. Chronic and parentheses, chronic and cause excess stress. So, I guess like an example of this is girls like on like the internet literally being like, ooh, slowly that I'm realizing, turning into a white girl, and them being sort of stressed. I put that in quotations because like not everyone might be stressed, but like it making them anxious or uneasy because they're becoming basic. Like, bro, I just brain fogged. Sorry, but like I hope that made sense. Like, and it causes us to like sort of hyperfixate on like trying not to be basic, because why do I want to be like every other girl? That's sort of the mindset that it leads to. And like the not being like other girls, trying to be different, feels like so annoying, and we constantly see it. And like it's why the I'm not like other girls thing exists. But then you're made fun of for trying to be not like other girls. And it's really like women can never win in any situation. And it's always girls making fun of other girls, calling other girls a pick me. And that's disgusting. And again, all has to do with internalized misogyny. Moving on. One of the most popular manifestations of internalized sexism that has been researched is the construct of self-objectification. Self-objectification refers to the internalization of sexually objectifying experiences that occurs when women treat themselves as an object to be looked at and evaluated on the basis of appearance. This has to do with internalized misogyny, and I feel like it's just relevant in general to bring up, because a lot of women try to make themselves appeal towards the male gaze, and this has to do with the issue of self-objectification, because I feel like girls don't want to be basic because they still unintentionally view themselves as objects. Like I do this a lot too, and I am not like innocent to this issue where like I try to look pretty because like sometimes it is towards the male gaze, and that is unhealthy. And that's because that's what the patriarchy has sort of caused women to do, because I've always felt like it was a very big thing growing up where like you should look pretty for the boys, or don't try too hard because the boys will look at you. And that's just sort of a thing where like I sort of grew up feeling like I wasn't a person, sort of. I was an object to be looked at. And this is why women are told to cover up things of this sort, because like, oh, we shouldn't be showing off our bodies, but our bodies aren't objects. And this, again, I want to tie this all back to the basic white girl, because like I feel like me being like, for example, me, when I do things that might be considered basic, I'm like, I'll sometimes be like sometimes it could be like a thing where like, oh, but like, would a boy like this? I don't personally think this, but I feel like that is the mindset that some young girls might think. And like, as you see this on social media, that can be extremely harmful, because then they won't want to do things that they like, even because it's considered basic. And that is harmful in and of itself. And then another again quoting, Another conceptualization of internalized sexism that has garnered empirical support is passive acceptance of traditional gender roles and unawareness or denial of cultural, institutional, and individual sexism. I don't really want to go much into this, I'm not going to lie to you, but I feel like it's something important to just note is that a lot of us, like I have internalized sexism at times, and I won't realize I'm being sexist towards myself. I'll be like, well, I can't do that. I'm a girl. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. This is such like a feminist video and I love it. I'm eating it up. I feel like you guys have never really seen this more like side of me because I typically do very, very fun, upbeat videos, but I'm really enjoying this little session that we're having. I hope you are too. But next, I have this in bold because I felt like this was an extremely important part of the article that I really wanted to highlight. And it's that misogyny is a cultural practice that serves to maintain power of the dominant male group through the subordination of women. Women and their role in society are thus devalued to increase and maintain the power of men, which results in a fear of femininity and hatred, devaluing of women and female-related characteristics. The negative impact of the devaluation of something as central as gender is perpetuated not only by men but also by women who reinforce the central male culture of devaluing women through the acts of horizontal oppression and omission resulting from the internalized misogyny. And I feel like this right here is what I have sort of been trying to talk about in this entire video. This does an extremely good summary of it. The fear of femininity, quote, in this is something that I feel is so seen with being basic. It's like being afraid to be feminine. Being feminine is okay, and so many people hate on young girls who are ultra feminine. I love being ultra feminine personally, and that's okay, but there's such a fear around femininity, and this also has to do with like why, for example, like gay men who are feminine, like people are scared of that, and I hate that so much. And this devalues female characteristics as said in the journal article, and it's like it just kind of backtracks all the work that we've sort of been trying to come to where female characteristics are seen as less than male. For example, just wearing makeup, wearing basic makeup that every girl just wears. Like, men love to make fun of basic girls, love making fun of women for wearing makeup, and then this forces young girls and women to not want to do that, which really, really, really sucks. I feel like this section just right here really encompasses everything I've been trying to say in this entire video. But then the final point I have is that the only known measure assessing internalized misogyny is the internalized misogyny scale. The IMS consists of 17 items which reflect 3 dimensions: devaluing women, distrust of women, and gender bias in favor of men. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because of the 3 parts which can be associated with this negative trend of realizing I'm turning into a basic white girl. And the negative connotations with it is, 1, this devalues women and young girls, which is so disgusting. I hate it. And then distrust of women. This, like, basic white girl thing kind of seems like I want to talk about it in, like, a distrust type sense, where it's like you're not trusting. Like, some girls will be like, oh, but like everyone uses that, why would I use it too if she's using it, da 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 da. And again, this goes again on like the women on women war constantly, which is filthy. It's disgusting. Stop fighting other women all the time. I'm so sick of it. And then the last part, and gender bias in favor of men. This is my final point for this. So I'm turning off my laptop, but men are just so favored in society. It's okay for men to make fun of women all the time, and I hate it. Men are put on such a pedestal in society, and this is not to hate men, because men also have their own issues, and that is not to take away from their issues. Feminism encompasses male advocacy and having things like that, but there's so many issues when it comes to like the basic white girl and just not really being seen as equals, and I hate that. So, to summarize today's video, the basic white girl and realizing I'm turning into a basic white girl trend type thing is negatively impacting us as a society. because being basic is okay. Things are considered basic for a reason, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. If you guys have anything more to add to my conversation, don't be shy to leave it in the comments down below. Yeah. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed my sort of little dialogue, and I hope I just somewhat started a dialogue, and I like putting these things out on the internet because I want to contribute it to society in any way, shape, or form that I really can. And this was really important to me, and talking about this was just super duper important to me. I don't know when this is going to come out. I kind of want this to come out sooner rather than later because I feel like this is really relevant, so I might switch my upload schedule a little bit so this isn't coming out in February. It's currently January 3rd, so I might have this come out earlier because this is just really, really important to me right now. But I really do hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about the basic white girl. And if you're basic, tell me in the comments down below. Tell me you're basic, just like me. I'm basic. I own it. I love to be basic. Sue me. But I do love you guys all so, 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 so much. And I will most certainly see you in the next one. I love you. Don't forget that I love you. Mwah.